Good morning, everyone. My name is Tammy Sadler-Jones. I'm the Assistant City Administrator for the City of Smyrna. I'd like to call to order the License and Variance Board meeting for Wednesday, May the 11th, 2016. Board members present to my left is Scott Stokes, the Director of Public Works, and to his left is Brian Marcos, the Deputy Fire Chief. Christiana Craddock is the Executive Assistant to the City Administrator, and she will be taking the official meeting minutes. First item is a public hearing, public hearing, privilege license request, LIC 2016, beer, wine, and liquor pouring, 2731 South Cobb Drive, T.O. Bar and Grill Incorporated, DBA T.O. Bar and Grill, with Mariana Garcia as the agent. Is Ms. Garcia here? Can you step to the podium? And for the record, can you state your name, please?
Mariana Garcia.
Mariana, okay. And have you received a copy of the city's alcohol beverage ordinance?
Yes.
And have you read it, and do you understand it?
Yes.
And do you agree to abide by the guidelines set forth in that policy?
Yes.
Okay. Have you completed the prerequisite responsible alcohol sales class?
Yes.
All right. And it's our understanding we do have a copy, I believe, of your certificate in our files.
Yes.
Okay. What steps do you have in place to prevent the sale of alcohol at your business?
Well, based off my training, I have all my servers trained. For example, when we have dance events, we card people at the door when they come in who look under the age of 30. Also, my servers, if the customer also looks under age, like under the age of 30, they also card.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Garcia?
What's your role with the business?
I'm the bar manager.
The bar manager?
Yes.
What are your hours?
From 9 p.m. to 4 p.m. a.m. 9 p.m. to 4 a.m.
9 p.m. to 4. 9 p.m. to 4
p.m. to
a.m.
4 a.m.
And what days do you work during the week?
I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And then what are the hours of operation for the establishment?
It's Thursday through Monday.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do you understand that from time to time the Smyrna Police Department does undercover sting operations, and if anyone does sell to a minor any of your servers, that they will be taken to jail immediately?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And the Smyrna Police Department did do a background investigation, and no information was revealed that would preclude issuance of this particular license. So with that said, this is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak, please step to the podium.
Something to say?
Speak into the mic, please, and state your name.
My name is Isabel Bruton, and I'm a resident of Smyrna. I didn't come for this, but I have to say something about it. Some people don't look like they're 21. I have a son, when he was 16, he looked like he was 30. He was tall, big, and they used to sell alcohol to him, people in general, because he was tall and big. So the look, I don't think they should go by the look. They should just check anybody that's young.
Okay. That does bring up a question. Does your registers have point of sale on it, on your register system?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So can you, for the public, and for her comment, can you explain what that does if somebody comes and you show their license, what that says on your register?
Like if they show a license?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have like a system where you mean check it if it's authentic?
Well, when you put in your driver's license, the date that they were born, does it bring up anything that flashes that says this person is under age?
I honestly don't have that type of system.
Oh, you don't? Okay, no. All right. Well, it might be something you all may want to look into because it does help.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Max Hess.
Speak into the mic, please.
Yes, my name is Max Hess. I'm the attorney representing the applicant.
Okay.
And I wanted to say that kind of point-of-sale technology is usually for package sales, at a convenience store.
Okay.
And they are an on-premise consumption
Got it.
with food. So you don't normally use that technology when you're serving food and beverage, for a meal.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying. Again, this is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak, please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve privilege license request LIC 2016-05 beer, wine, and liquor pouring 2731 South Cobb Drive, T.O. Bar and Grill Incorporated, doing business as T.O. Bar and Grill, with Mariana Garcia as the agent.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve privilege license request LIC 2016-05. All in favor, please vote. All right. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is Thank you. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16016, allow 4 accessory structures within the side yard for temporary storage, 0.328 acres, land lot 631, 1725 Spring Road. Sky King Fireworks is the applicant, and it's our understanding that at the request of the applicant that this be tabled until May the 25th. You got any additional comments you'd like to make from our staff?
No, the applicant requested it be tabled so they can provide additional information to staff and work towards a solution to what their intent is.
Okay. This is a public hearing, so if anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you step to the podium at this time.
Good morning. My name is Walter Wiesberg. I own the property at 1711 Spring Road, which is directly adjacent to Sky King.
Okay.
I can come back at the next hearing, but I would like to voice my comment that I am opposed to any external storage. This particular building is already only 8 feet off of their back property line. That puts their building within 68 feet of my building. Their containers would be within 68 feet of my building. Their containers would not have sprinkling systems or any kind of safety to prevent any kind of explosion. Also, the containers on one side yard would only be 140 feet from a daycare center. I don't know what the fire regulations for this type of thing are, but I don't think that it's a good idea to have explosives that close to a daycare, and I certainly don't want them within 68 feet of my property.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
For anybody who wants to speak on this now, your comments are in the record for this variance application. Okay. But if you want to come back again and speak again when they hold the hearing, you're welcome to do that as well.
Yes.
Is that the 25th?
It's 2 weeks from today.
Yes, Wednesday,
10 o'clock.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
2 Wednesdays from today.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm Isabel Bruton. I'm a resident of Smyrna. I'm just across the street from this business, and I'm opposing their plan of storing fireworks. It's a residential area. I don't understand. I'm a world traveler, and I've never seen a firework business in a residential area. I can step in my driveway. If I step 4 feet down on the road, directly I face the parking lot of this business, and the door, I can face the door. So the people there can see me as well I can see them. This is not good. I'm a single woman, and in our area, there's a lot of single women living there. People come in the business of firework. They come late at night, and it's close to a package store, which is a very bad combination. It's a very big stress and concern for me as a resident of Lexington Trace Drive, and I think this business is going to bring the price of our property down. I don't think nobody's going to, if somebody's want to sell their house, nobody's going to want to buy a house close to a dangerous place like that. In the summer of July, 4th of July is very hot. You never know those explosive material. You don't know what can happen. You know, this is not a place where it should be. And first of all, it's going to attract very bad people coming there, staying at night, drinking because the package door is just close to that area. They will be drinking, partying, and we won't be able to sleep. My bedroom just faces the street. So from my bedroom, I can hear anything coming from that area. I won't be able to sleep. I do oppose that, strongly oppose, and I'm very surprised that even we can have a hearing about this business in this area, a residential area. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion that we table variance request V16016 until Wednesday, May the 25th.
Motion to approve variance request V16-016, allow 4 accessory structures within the side yard for temporary storage, 0.328 acres, line lot 631, 1725 Spring Road, Sky King Fireworks.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we table variance request V16016 until Wednesday, May the 25th, at the request of the applicant. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16018, allow gravel to be used for parking surface, 5685 Oakdale Road, 1840 and 1865 Freeman Parkway, 90 acres, land lots 055, 056, 061, 062, 864. James Freeman is the applicant. Mr. Freeman, can you step to the podium, please? And this item was tabled from 2 weeks ago, so can you tell us again about your variance request?
We met with the...
And speak into the mic, please.
Oh, excuse me. We met with the city and discussed things that needed to be done. I think we've worked out all the problem areas.
Okay.
We're just asking to add some gravel to some parking lots, and these have been used for parking in the past, and we want to add some more gravel and be able to park. Some of these trucks will pull in and stay. In other words, if he comes home on the weekend, he can't park his truck at his house because of the ordinances and what have you. He can park his truck here, take his car and go home, then come back on Monday and pick up his car. That's primarily. We will also store some tractors and things with cleats. So we need to add some gravel to this.
Okay. All right.
If there's any questions, I'll try to address them.
Okay. Any questions at this time for the applicant? Okay. I was going to tell him if he could sit on the front row. Okay.
The applicant is requesting to use gravel as a parking surface on Oakdale Road and Freeman Parkway. These are existing parking areas that he's operated for 20 plus years. I believe many years ago this was approved as a master kind of plan. Some of the areas were graded and have gravel on them now, and Mr. Freeman is wishing to resurface those existing areas and add additional gravel to new areas. We've, like he said, we've met with him and discussed the plan and his overall scope. There is existing water quality measures on the property that, by the city engineer's perspective, it meets the requirements for water quality to ensure that there's no pollutants that discharge into the Chattahoochee. And his recommendation is just on the areas that have not been disturbed or that don't have gravel already, that some measures be taken that contain the gravel and don't let it just accumulate in one area and then become a impervious surface. So we've written these recommendations so that there is some flexibility, and he can work with the city engineer to meet our objective and his objective, because we are charged by the EPD to enforce some environmental regulations, but we're trying to balance that with what his needs are and not unduly burden him with these requirements, since this is an existing parking area. So we have recommended approval with these 3 conditions. 1, gravel pavement measures recommended by city engineer apply to areas not previously disturbed or stabilized by gravel base. 2, existing water quality measures will be maintained. 3, the lots will be limited to temporary parking of unoccupied multi-axle vehicles in the areas depicted by the applicant within the variance application, unless otherwise approved by mayor and council. So if Mr. Freeman wants to use this parking area for single occupant vehicles, for Braves overflow parking, for instance, then that would just need approval by mayor and council, because it's beyond the scope of what we can review for this particular hearing.
Okay. Any questions for the staff? Okay. Mr. Freeman, are you in agreement with the 3 conditions as stated? Okay. And for the record, he said yes. Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? Okay. This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
My motion to approve variance request V16-018, allow gravel to be used for parking service 5685 Oakdale Road, 1840 and 1865 Freeman Parkway, 90 acres, land lots 055056, 061, 062, and 864. James Freeman is the applicant, with the following conditions: that the gravel pavement measures recommended by the city engineer apply to areas not previously disturbed or stabilized by gravel base. Existing water quality measures will be maintained. The lots will be limited to temporary parking of unoccupied multi-axle vehicles in the areas depicted by the applicant within the variance application, unless approved by the mayor and council.
I second that motion.
Okay. It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16018. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16022, approval for an increase in the maximum allowable height for a fence in the front yard from 4 feet to 6 feet at 3446 Lee Street, 0.40 acres, land lot 525, 3446 Lee Street, Molly Capistrant is the applicant. Is that okay? And for the record, can you state your name?
Molly Capistrant.
Okay. And can you tell us about your variance request, please?
Yeah, we have actually put in a fence that's 4 feet on our corner lot, and we have a side door that's glass, and we're just trying to cover that for privacy.
Okay.
So we want to raise the fence there to 6 feet.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the applicant? All right. Well, at this time, we'll have comments by our staff, please.
Applicant is requesting an increase in fence height in the front yard from 4 feet to 6 feet. Is at the corner of Lee Street and Danielle Drive. The long side of this corner lot is has a fence section that's roughly 115 feet. The applicant's requesting 18-foot section of that be allowed to be 6 feet for additional privacy. The remaining fence will be 4-foot fence. So it's really only a 18-foot section that needs a height increase. We've recommended approval as other similar variances to this have been approved by the city. And we've just have one condition, that approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application.
Any questions for the staff? And for the applicant, for the record, do you agree to the one stipulation? Okay, all right. This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V16-022. Allow for an increase in the maximum allowable height for a fence in the front yard from 4 feet to 6 feet at 3446 Lee Street, .40 acres, land lot 525. Molly Capistrant is the applicant. The following condition: that approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16022. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is appeal of the denial of an alcohol permit for Tiffany Bryant. And at this time, I'll turn it over to our Assistant City Attorney, Jeffrey Tucker.
Thank you, Ms. Sadler-Jones. We're going to take some factual evidence in this hearing, so let's have the applicant and Marla Gerber from the police department come up and take an oath, please. So, and Ms. Bryant, we're going to take some questions from Marla first, and then for you, when you speak, please speak into the microphone so it'll be picked up on the record. Both of you raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give in this matter should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
All right, if you'll sit down for just a minute, and why don't you sit right there, because it'll only take a second. Ms. Gerber, if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Marla Gerber,
And who is your employer?
Smyrna Police Department.
And what do you do over at the Smyrna PD?
I work in the permit office.
So describe with respect to alcohol server permits what the procedure is of somebody coming in and applying.
They fill out an application. We run a criminal history. And if they have more than one alcohol or drug-related offense within the last 3 years, we can deny it. And if they've had one felony in the past 5 years, we can deny it.
And the applicant gives you written permission to run this history, is that correct?
Correct.
And they also are required, as part of the application, to disclose the offenses or convictions or other activity that would be disqualifying, is that correct?
Correct.
So Tiffany Bryant, correct me if any part of this is not correct. Tiffany Bryant came in, filled out an application, and she disclosed certain events that might have an effect on her ability to receive an alcohol server permit here in the city of Smyrna. You ran her GCIC report, and what you found, was it at variance with what she had disclosed?
Yes.
It was at variance?
No, she had disclosed it.
So she properly disclosed the events that might have an effect on her, correct?
Yes.
And so when you ran the GCIC report, what you showed was the following, just so that I can summarize for the board here, that the applicant a couple of years ago had 2 felony charges, I believe in Fayette County, that were available for treatment under the first offender statute. She's maybe got a fine and some term of probation, but she disclosed all that on her application, and the criminal background report showed exactly that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I don't have any more questions for Ms. Gerber. Ms. Bryan, if you'll step up here. And we always proceed this way. Is there anything that either I said or that Ms. Gerber said that you'd like to correct?
No.
Okay. I don't have any questions for Ms. Bryant.
Well, Ms. Bryant, you're here because of the denial of the permit. So can you tell us a little bit about what happened and, why these things are on your background check?
Yes. I was in what would be considered to be an abusive relationship at that time. And the person who I was with kind of, I guess, put it in my head that we needed money for that person not to get killed, essentially, is what they told me. Okay. And I stole from my place of employment. I had been working there for a really long time, had never done anything before or after. After I did that, that person is no longer a part of my life anymore. But instead of seeking retribution against that person or claiming anything else, I just accepted the responsibility for what I did. Okay. I've gone to counseling. I've received treatment in the form of medication. Okay. And then, so that's pretty much what that situation
and then
was in particular.
Where are you currently working now?
Well, I'm applying for the license, or I have applied for the license in order to work at Zuka Bar and Pizzeria. Okay. However, I am currently working at a place in Roswell called Cakes Bar Darcy. Okay. But I received training at Zuka, and the last thing I needed to get was my permit. Okay. I was approved under the same circumstances at Cobb County. Okay. For an alcohol permit. So even within the guidelines of what I knew City of Smyrna required or would deny an alcohol permit for me, I still applied because Cobb County, under the same circumstances, did approve a license for me in 2015. So all of the same information was available. Okay.
Any questions for the applicant?
Do you have a copy of that permit from Cobb County?
I do.
May we see it?
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Anything else you'd like to say?
No. I mean, I'm being completely honest, so.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's all we request that you be honest.
That's all I can do.
All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion, please, in regards to the appeal of the denial of an alcohol permit for Tiffany Bryant.
Make a motion to approve the alcohol permit for Tiffany Bryant.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve the alcohol permit for Miss Tiffany Bryant. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Please make us proud, Tiffany.
I will. I love working over there. So.
Okay. All
I
right.
was going to be really upset.
All right, thank you. Okay. At this time, I'd like to, the next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the April 27, 2016 License and Variance Board meeting.
Move approval of the minutes for the April 27, 2016 License and Variance Board meeting.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve the meeting minutes from April 27, 2016. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to declare this meeting adjourned at 10:30 a.m. Thank you.